Every day, if we open a newspaper or watch the TV news, we hear the results of surveys telling us who we're going to vote for, what policies are popular or unpopular, or how satisfied people are with this or that service. That information is taken from questionnaires of one type or another. The common misconception is that a questionnaire is just a collection of questions, and that once you know what it is you are interested in, writing them is relatively straightforward. Hi, I'm Dave Middleton, and this short podcast looks at the various stages of questionnaire design as explored at an Open University-WISERD Workshop aimed at the third sector. Before we got started, I spoke to some of the participants to see what they were hoping to get from the day. This is what they told me.
I'm Catherine Edwards. I'm about to start a job with Hospice UK. Done survey monkeys and things like that, but I'd like to professionalise it a bit.
I'm Sian Challoner. I work for Careers Wales as a business improvement manager. I've worked in the business improvement team for probably about 5 years now. So we've done a lot of evaluation exercises in the company. I've designed questionnaires. So, I've looked at different models. I've done research methods in the past in other jobs that I've done. So I have got some knowledge and a bit of experience to apply, but I think it's always good to kind of learn, get some new ideas.
Okay, Linda Pritchard, and I work for Glamorgan Voluntary Services. Well, I run a health and social care network that has 370 members. So we need to ask our networks and our 700 members whether we're doing a good job, so we have to do a lot of questionnaires.
I'm Cameron Lees. I'm a project officer with the Learning and Work Institute in Wales. I'm more of a project manager, and I write quite a lot of bids for research bids, so I'm using these workshops really to get an understanding of what is involved within research throughout different levels.
Okay, I'm Sally Jones and I work for the National Assembly for Wales. We use a lot of different methods to engage people with the work we're doing, but we do use surveys quite often to engage with a wide audience if it's relevant to them. So designing the questions and knowing what to ask them and how to get the best engagement from them is really key.
The emphasis at OU WISERD Workshops is on the concept of work. We believe that with an intelligent audience, our job is to tap into and direct the experiences of our participants. So with people from a variety of backgrounds and experiences, we set them to work designing a questionnaire. First off, they had to decide what was the purpose of this questionnaire, who was it to be aimed at, and crucially, what on earth was it supposed to be finding out?
So what's our purpose?
We're looking at the purpose, aren't we? So this is the...
You can go the simple way, and our purpose is to find out the public sections of the third sector. Yeah. There's the answer. But I think we break that down a little bit. Public feelings on what is useful. Is it useful? Is it needed? Is it highly sought after?
Well, that's clear enough. But who is actually going to do this questionnaire?
I suppose it just comes down to maybe a sample. It's how you kind of triangulate it all, isn't it? So if you're going to compare data of people who do and don't work within the sector, I guess if you were thinking about what that might look like and who that might be, so you might want to ask some people to get some comparative data, might you? Unless you were going to just rule out that kind of level completely and just have it at just a support worker level or whatever.
Samples, triangulation. This workshop was getting very, very technical, but at least there was no problem working out exactly what it was we were trying to find out.
How it's come about, but it doesn't actually answer questions about whether it's sufficient, whether it's doing a good job, whether it's got the right resources.
And likewise, it taps into that question at the beginning about, do you even know what the third sector is and your level of awareness? Because, as we were saying, third sector services are often plugging a gap that we think the state should be providing, or actually many people in the public will presume it is providing the service when in fact it might be a charity.
Okay, so we're not certain what, who or how. I think I'll let my colleague Alison Green sort this out. Over to you, Alison.
So one thing that's kind of coming out is this word efficiency. So you want perhaps the survey to focus on the efficiency. Anybody else got any other things to throw into the
When we were
mix?
talking about it, I quite liked the fact that it wasn't too targeted, because public perception of the third sector, there are so many people who don't know what that means, or don't understand the breadth of it, and that's what interests me. But then you're coming into personal opinion then as well, aren't you? So, because I think there's something there about promotion and helping people understand the services that are out there in order to make them better, and there's that element.
Similarly for us, we felt as though we had to identify a driver in order to be able to identify a target audience. So we made the assumption that it would be to investigate customer experience and then drill down from there.
The one thing we, and my colleagues might agree or disagree, the hardest surveys we find designing are the ones that are aimed at the public. And I think that when we're faced with those situations, we sometimes have to think a bit broader than just getting the information we want out the survey, but what kind of use the survey can be. So if we're trying to target people who don't know about the services, the survey in of itself can be an opportunity to educate and explain that this is what the role of it is. So I'm happy to go with mental health. I'm just thinking in terms of, I think I'd rather be faced with the most difficult option and knowing how to do that best, and then applying it to... I don't know.
Well done, Alison. We're all a lot clearer now. So something on efficiency and mental health services? Great. Now to design some actual questions. I think I'll just go and have a cuppa first.
You want to know, what have they had an experience? What was the experience? What did they go for?
Yeah.
And then what was that experience like?
Yeah.
Really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So say other and then what it is.
Yeah.
Long list. Yeah. Plus open text. Yeah, plus open. Yeah.
Yeah, because if we're going population of Wales wide, I don't say, do you know of any of these services in your local area? Because they might not be in some areas and not in others.
Yeah, that would be good.
Because then you'd know, because that would give you an answer of where they're accessing, and if
Perhaps
within
not
a particular...
what, but where.
Yeah, so then we'd think about the second one.
Yeah.
So what would you ask after that?
Well, I think what everybody can agree on is that question wording is a lot tougher than it first appears. So whilst we compile the draft questionnaire, time for lunch and a chance to see how things are going.
Hi Linda.
Hello there.
Hi, how's it going?
So it's making us think a little bit more about doing questionnaires, more than you realise actually, so the preparation is really important.
Hi Kellen, how's it going then? What do you think of the workshop so far?
The workshop's been really interesting so far. We're halfway through the day, and some of the group work that we're doing has really cast a light on some of the ways in which we can improve the way that we construct surveys already. Getting to meet all the other people who are here on the training session today is really good as well, because it means we can network and share our own experiences of survey design and how we can improve it together.
And the lunch?
The lunch is wonderful.
And let's be honest, it's the free lunch they all came for. Well, whilst they were enjoying lunch, we input the draft questions into SurveyMonkey, and my colleague Nick Johns led the group scrutiny of them.
Okay, so number 5 then. How did you find out about these services? And again, we've got categories. Okay, so GP or hospital in the community, and there's examples there, library, community group, etc. Friends, stroke family, media, newspaper, TV, or other, and then a box underneath for people to specify. What do we think about that? Is that a good question?
Yeah, but we wrote it.
Well, yeah.
Yes, you need to put that.
Yeah, you'd need to be directive about that, wouldn't you? It's a nice, clear question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You know, there's not much room for it.
Just try and put it.
So you find out about it from, but you might use it through.
Because
So
actually
those two
knowledge-
questions could be on the same questionnaire.
Yeah, because we were talking about this.
Would people not get confused?
But they'd be worded.
But a lot of our questions we thought probably should come at the start because they're very general. So you would have those general knowledge questions where you could multiply tick, and then because you're getting into experience probably next, it would be more specific then, wouldn't it? But you would
Are you
know
aware
that
that
because
there are mental health services provided by the third sector? So just a yes or no response. What do you think about that?
Well, it's question 21, but it's obviously a closed question, but it's very specific with no sort of context put in place. What mental health services? What's third sector?
Yeah.
Can I just add something to that? It was our second question, and we had a bit of a blurb at the top.
Yeah.
And our first question was, are you aware that there are services to support mental health needs? So just that.
Yeah. So
with those around it.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. That's why I said question 21.
Yeah. And you talked about section headers as well, didn't you? Providing that kind of information
So
in the background.
we'd explained mental health services and we'd explained the sector.
Remember now what I said, don't take it personally.
No, it's providing context. That's what providing context about providing context.
And how it
So happy with that,
however you
given
define
that we have that
it
context
is.
available to us.
I think
Do you need a don't know?
Well, no, you're either aware or you're not.
Yeah.
You don't know is no. In that respect, I think.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Because that's quite similar to the other question that we were looking at, and I'm thinking about the two of them together and what's gone on in between. Whether it would have been easier just to, rather than ask, have you accessed services, if you needed to access services, ranking where those services are so you know how high up the list of priorities the third sector would be. Or it might be an entirely different question by itself.
Well,
I think
our
it's
first question was, are you aware that there
Can I
are
just
mental health services provided by the third sector? And then we thought, actually, we need to go back a step because we were on knowledge as well. It was very general. We thought, actually, they might not be aware that there are services in general for mental health.
Okay, so
there might not be mental health services.
Yeah.
So you're basically trying to test their knowledge of the sector.
And just getting more detailed as we go.
That works. That works.
That makes sense now. I can see how you've done that now. That makes sense. But I think the second question could potentially be: are you aware that there's third sector providers that deliver? To mix it up a little bit, it's just a wording thing, isn't it? Yeah. That's all.
And also, I'm not there, am I, when they're filling it out? I'll go, we're asking you this because.
Yeah.
And this is what we were thinking.
So, after 6 hours, we came to the conclusion that most of our questions didn't work and our survey was likely to fail. I was starting to worry that the day had been a waste of everybody's time.
I think it's reinforced. I think a quiet concern I had in the back of my head that sometimes some of the people we work with see 3,000 survey responses and think this is wonderful engagement, and they see the number, they don't see the data, and a lot of our job day to day is kind of convincing those people, a survey really might not be the best way for you to do that, and it's also kind of reinforced the language, that the word, every single word in that sentence you use for that question means something to whoever's reading it, so paying more particular attention to that.
Good day to have a bit of space to think about, needing to think about doing that questionnaire, and actually whether the questionnaire or the survey is always the right thing to be using.
It's been really good. I mean, to put in my situation, I've just completed some surveys, so I'm now going to go back and have a look at those, because I can instantly see some changes that I would now want to make from this, and putting things in context and changing things about. So I think it's been really good as an overview to some potential pros and cons.
Oh, well, that's a relief. Our objective had been to make sure that nobody thought questionnaire design was easy. We'd wanted to emphasise the importance of planning a questionnaire, thinking about the audience, and carefully testing each question before sending it out. If we got that across, it was a day well spent. Thanks for listening. This has been Dave Middleton, Talking Research.